We don't call it rape. We had this thing that we just took what we wanted because all the people around us were afraid of us.
I was in the age of 13 or 12. We went to a nightclub, and while we were walking, they actually stopped two girls. They just grabbed them, took them into the bushes, and raped them. I never had sex in my life. Never had sex in my life. And I was standing there, and I was thinking, so this is the way how people have to have sex with a girl.
We're not born rapists. We grow up with these images. Do you understand? It look normal for us, but in real sense, it's not normal.
Prison is a hard place. Prison is a dangerous place. Nobody wants to be in prison. But once a person ends up is to be in prison, your interaction must be as if this person is your own child, your own brother. Even as a perpetrator of sexual violence, they're human beings. They got feelings, they got emotion. If any sexual offender is going out without having an intervention, then I release a potential rapist again. In sexual offense, we talk about the triggers. What's things that make you spin and doing the actual rape?
The way you dress is the way that caused the rape. Those short skirts and those pants and those G-strings are not right.
When I was doing this, I was in influence of drugs. I never done this with a sober mind. I never think about it. I just went to work. You see, the drugs is controlling my mind. I'm not actually thinking for myself now. Now I'm sitting and I'm checking this girl out. I'm raping her already in my mind.
I've been more than 26 or 27 years in prison. I've started at the younger, tender age of 15 years. I was 15 when I got sentenced. I've got exposed to a lot of things in prison. I was harassed, I was verbally abused, sexually abused, because guys wanted to just sodomize me because I was a youngster, an attractive youngster. When I grew up, the same things that they wanted to do with me, I was doing it with other guys, brother.
You must start by saying, you raped me last week. I did say no, I don't want to have sex, but you force upon yourself, upon me, and I'm going to make a charge. And then waiting for him to answer, and then he will answer, and then you respond. But stay in the role of the victim.
You put my penis inside of my vagina without my permission, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to tell my parents what you did to me.
Ah, come on, man. What are you making a big issue of it?
You are waiting that I must be drunk so that you can force me to do this.
Come on, Mavis. I didn't force you. You forced the issue and we just went to it. Mad as hatters with each other. We were so hyped up and spiked up that we went with the full aggression to each other. And you never cried. You never shouted. You did nothing.
I did shout, and you hold me there by my throat, so I couldn't speak loud and shouting for help. You will be arrested for this.
But I'm telling you now, you call your parents and you'll see what happens to you and your parents.
Okay. Being accused of raping, being the perpetrator, how does it feel? And people looking on.
I don't exactly say that I feel good about it because here's this thing coming out in the air and I didn't want it on one moment to it must be known what I've done. And I'm trying to defend myself with all costs, whether I must do whatever it takes, whether I must shoot or whether I must murder, but I don't want people to know me as a rapist.
If my brother must do this to your sister, how will you feel? Of what do you think? What will she go through?
I would
wouldn't feel good because I see, if I see it now, I would see that she would go through the same thing you are going through now. So it would hurt me. So that's why I feel hurt because I feel what you are feeling and what you
You can't feel what I'm feeling because you never went through that, what I'm going through. Do you understand? You did it to me without my concern. We're nothing from each other. I never gave you the right to it. Do you understand? You made your own decisions and you made the wrong decisions. Do you understand? I don't agree with you and I'll never forgive you.
Okay, how do you feel, Rocky? It's very difficult for the perpetrator to walk in the moccasins of the victim, because the first thing when they were caught out, it's about, will I go to prison? What will happen to me now? Never ever is the thought patterns of what the victim, what happens to the victim. The violence of today is only about violence that comes from the legacy of apartheid.
You see, the damage the apartheid put onto us also. From shifting us here, shifting us there. We grew up in group areas. Do you understand? That's where the violence started to groom. That poverty we were living into, they gutted us into it. They suffocated us.
If you treat people in a violent way, they will respond in a violent way. I understand the broader public is furious and they're angry and they may be tired of the amount of rapes that happen in our communities. I'm saying that we need to educate people. Today, we will have the self-esteem shield. How you feel about yourself. You worked with them to express feelings. You know, men doesn't not normally talk of feelings. They talk factual, talk from the head, but it's to talk about how do you feel.
This is about me. I'm worried. And you can see there's a sign of HIV here because I'm the one who's affected. This first time I hear from the counsellors that I'm HIV, I was worried, but I thought to myself, no, this is not a disease for animals. This is a disease for people. If you don't know your status, you are walking on the dark. I'm very proud because I know my status.
It's myself, my wife, and my son. And we got a house and we're living there together. And this picture is actually telling you that this is the life I want, and this is the life I'm going to have when I go out here, being with my family and fulfilling my responsibilities.
I do understand the damage that I caused. I do understand that a real man doesn't rape.
I must go out and show them, but I've learned. You need to control your sexual deviancy. You need to control it.
I'm struggling. It's almost like, now I can see what is war. It's with myself.
This must never go to the victim. The victim must never see this, because the victim could be at a different place. So we will put it all together and we will burn it out. It's also a way of letting go. They become human by dealing with what is inside of them. They feel for one another, they understand, they connect. And they have some trust, there's confidentiality. And all of a sudden, they go back and they become part of the prison population. You feel for them and you see how vulnerable they become. And you try by all means to close them up, to send them back to the units where they're not so vulnerable. Because it's a harsh environment. Nobody is born to spend his entire life in prison. I will never come to a point where I say he healed. I will say that this man, he knows his triggers, he knows what to avoid, he knows not to justify it and being amongst a potential victim.